Good morning, and welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN, guys. I'm one of the faves,
Yes.
Azem. Kevon should be here shortly. And of course, as always, since the CPL, we're joined by by Jade, Gwen, Idita Johnson. How are you doing?
You want the real answer? I don't think you want the real answer.
No, the people want the real. The people want the real.
I am.
The tea.
I am feeling like Hurricane Sam currently.
What, strong?
Strong and fierce.
Strong and fierce.
Yes.
Oh boy. But
yes. We apologize for the late start, people. We were having some audio issues, but we're here now to bring you your tea and all the nice things that you come here for.
Yeah, but guys, just so you know, it's hump day.
Listen, I woke up this morning and I thought about it and I was like, oh my God, we halfway there.
Nah.
I was so happy.
Yeah, man, it's hump day. September the 29th. September is almost over.
Listen, September, so I have some place to be and it is not here.
Well,
I agree.
yeah, September ain't playing at all, bye.
It came, it saw, it went.
Ah,
September wasn't too
play the
bad.
music.
Was it bad?
September?
Yes.
September should have been jiggy for you. You got a championship. You.
Oh yes, we did win a championship.
Yes, all of that there was going on. Wait. Did we hear? The Prosecco Papi here?
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome, my friend. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Yes. The level of enthusiasm scares me.
Same.
Is either that or you're gonna get like dead energy today.
Okay, no.
Okay. Let's go with this. Go with overly excited.
Yes.
Somewhat freaky.
We'll accept it.
Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, September was a good month for me.
Really?
September was okay.
September was a good month for me.
Is it the reason why I'm thinking it is?
Probably.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
was.
okay. Yes. September was a good
Did you
month.
guys tell people?
Nope.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
Nope.
not going to then.
Of course not.
I'm for sure not going to then.
Mm-hmm.
That is not my
Well, one thing I know to do is mind my business enough.
same.
But yeah, guys, it was interesting. We had independence. We had a out of place Culturama. The
Should we
misplaced.
call it Culturama or we should call it Randorama?
Random I love it. I love it.
You guys playing rough today, boy.
Random Rama.
You guys playing rough today, boy. Make y'all
No,
no,
Random Rama makes sense.
Oh,
Random
man.
Rama makes sense.
Yeah.
Considering the situation, Random Rama makes a lot of sense. I love it.
Bye.
Randorama.
Yeah. So September was kind of interesting,
It
but
was.
yeah. By the way, big up to Going and also DJ Shabang.
Always first.
Yeah, man. The man
Probably
stays
wanna
early.
happen.
Watch you. You see what happened? He got some students always early for class. That's just Going and DJ Shabang.
They're better than me. They're better
Man,
than
so
me.
they play like how Sean played yesterday, but I like a lot of shit. I bye.
Hey, watch
Yeah, I could
here.
not wait.
Sean is my mood for the rest of the year. Okay? If it got
Bye.
nothing to do with me, don't involve me.
Bye.
If it don't have nothing to do with Jade, don't involve Jade.
That was the
Sean was a
epitome
big
of
mood.
don't mix me.
Listen, look up Don't Mix Me. You're going to see Sean next to it. A picture of Sean and the Mohawk.
Oh, bye.
Trust me, Sean is a mood right now.
Sean is a mood. Wow.
Hey, is the way the man
Oh,
answer the
clean.
is the way the man answer the question had me cracking up, boy. The man said, what is that again? Let me look for the video.
Misplaced.
Yes.
He said, "Don't mix me."
Don't mix me back.
This ain't got nothing to do with me. You directing this in the wrong area.
Christians have this saying of like, "It's not my ministry." This was literally.
That is literally what the man
Yeah.
said. This is not my ministry.
Not
okay?
my circus, not my monkeys.
You don't put me in
Exactly.
Yeah, bye.
this. I tell you, the group chat probably doesn't be funny as hell, you know.
Bye. I don't even want to see what was going on post post press conference when the man just get a little link up at the end.
The man probably was like, sir, you could have just answered the question, you know, well, you had to do that. You could have just answered the question. Well, you had to fling it back, so.
Boomerang question, man.
Boy, the man said, not today.
I'm playing hot potato with the people in questions.
Right? Oh, boy. But the press conference had some information. I paid attention, but I wrote them down some points still. Did you guys pay attention? No? Okay, I will do it then. No, seriously, did y'all pay attention to it yesterday? Oh, y'all was busy.
Somewhat.
I was busy.
Somewhat.
There was something that I liked.
There were some things that I was wondering how we're gonna happen. But God,
Same.
I was like, but what kind of fantasy world we living in back? But anyway, we could get there. Go ahead.
Okay, so first was the announcement of the 40-bed field hospital.
That's what an announcement.
Yeah.
But we knew this already.
Who?
I mean, but why not make it an announcement?
I didn't.
They spoke about this already.
Okay, well, I clearly didn't hear it. This was the first time I heard it.
Let me tell you exactly when he come. And then
This was the first time I heard that they were constructing another.
I'm sure we spoke about it on the channel.
For true?
Anyway.
This probably was one of them CPL days for me. But for people like me who didn't hear it before, the Prime Minister said that they would be constructing a 40-bed field hospital that would be very close to the current hospital because it won't have all the equipment that the main hospital will have. So just to make sure that in case they need anything, it will be close to the current one.
You know what it was too?
Well,
I think it was one of the propaganda pages that had it up like some like. It got to be over a month ago.
You think I was going to pay attention to that?
No, but you could tell that was like it was legit.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. But yeah, that's good because they also spoke to the fact that the private ward is what they're using as the COVID ward basically.
Yeah.
And it came to a point where it was literally at capacity at one point. It is not at capacity anymore.
I heard about this but it was on SK Newsline. Field hospital to arrive in SKN soon, and this is since July.
Okay,
July 18th.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think we covered this. Either we covered it or it was.
I think I mentioned it. Yeah, July 18th.
Something.
Well,
this is September.
Well, here what they were they say it was like a new thing.
I wanna break it up, bye.
They said it like it was a fresh new announcement.
SK Newsline did a whole report on it.
Well, clearly we don't pay attention to them.
We did. I tell you, I spoke about it here.
SK Newsline is Andre?
Yes.
They got Andre one time.
Yeah.
I said,
they've been talking about it.
said they didn't, and I said,
No.
I didn't hear it, and I said the way it was mentioned yesterday was like a fresh new thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. They keep doing that nonsense. But anyway, right.
So, for people like me who didn't hear it before,
it should have been an update, but anyway, go ahead.
Yes, but it was a.
It wasn't an announcement, it was an update. But okay. I like it.
It didn't sound like an update to me.
That's what I'm telling you. I was like, hey, guess what?
Yes.
I was like,
it should be like, hey, you know,
I felt like deja vu.
Not me. I tell you, it sounded fresh to me. That's the first time I hear it. But yes, so that is still happening since it's been said before. The 40-bed field hospital is still happening close to the main hospital, just in case, you know, we need it. The CMO said that we are still, CMO Dr. Wilkinson said that we are hopefully getting to the third wave because of the low numbers that we had, I think was Monday? Because I don't remember getting a report for yesterday. So,
I tell you, I don't wonder if I live in a fantasy world, yeah.
No, Azem,
yes, you do, and it's called St. Kitts and Nevis.
It's called hope, okay? You have to have hope and faith.
Jade. I have hope and faith, but I also have. I'm a realist. I'm not an optimist.
Well, I shall be optimistic
pessimist.
for all of us then.
I mean, I'm an optimistic realist.
Yes,
I hope for the best, but let's also acknowledge where we are.
So y'all think that the third wave ain't over? We're really in a third wave? I don't feel like
that's my whole point.
I don't feel like we ended the second or the first. So I don't know.
This thing about the waves, like what like
I don't know. I don't feel like we ended any.
Come on, I think the wave. This is my thing, right? The waves should correspond to some change in behavior, whether it is based on just a societal unprompted reaction to what's happening, or government, some kind of government implemented protocols, right? What change?
Well, okay, so they won't be. Well, at least somebody's telling us it won't be a construction. They two are coming in from the U.S. One for St. Kitts, one for Nevis. Yay.
What?
One for St. Kitts and one for Nevis.
Oh, so it's two. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. or Mrs. Blois, we read that. Oh yes, we did do the COVID update yesterday. It was at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the fresh one.
The newest one.
What is
As soon as
Hanley
we get
in
the
the
newest
studio?
one,
Let us
What?
proceed.
They should have just exude hot girl energy. I love it.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Your friend.
Who friend? Which one?
Let's continue.
Oh, I know who it is.
Duh. So, and also the other thing that stood out to me was the entertainment thing, because they say the same thing they've been saying all the time.
Yeah, it's been but yeah.
I don't know if anything changed.
But I mean, the question come, you got to answer the question. I mean,
guess.
it is what it is. Like,
I guess.
What was interesting for me was the vaccine. Goals, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm either missing something, or I feel like we just I feel like in a fantasy world or something.
What you mean?
I think I wrote them down.
Okay.
Okay, pen and paper. Wait.
The man
So-
said, "Oh, you're gonna misrepresent my words."
Well, me really wrote them down. It's just I was discussing it with somebody, so I was typing. Right, so I was typing. So I think they were talking. They were outlining the vaccine goals, right? And I think he was speaking specifically to the numbers they want to reach to reduce the quarantine period. I think they were saying they wanted 80% of the 12 to 17-year-olds vaccinated by December 31st.
Which
So you just me just think that's
which December?
Okay.
How much percent?
31st or what? 2025 now?
80.
So we can't get the adults to that number, and we want the kids to that number.
You realize that there's people who have been vaccinated but thinking twice about vaccinating the kids. So it's not
Very
like
much so.
it's not like they're anti-vax, but it's just
Listen,
yeah.
People watch me first and say, "Nah, they know now."
Yeah, direct.
Literally,
Direct.
they're not doing it. So I don't know. I don't know.
And I don't understand. Like, I guess he wasn't saying that they're gonna get there.
He's saying they hope.
No,
It would be nice.
to me, but no.
You could have hope.
No, but my thing is this: why would you set an impossible goal to trigger something that is necessary?
Maybe an impossible.
Jade,
Yeah.
okay, and see,
We
no,
don't
but you
know
see,
adults,
you see.
it's
So
not.
what happened was, I had the same thought you had, and then you know what happened after that?
It left.
No.
Oh.
In order for that to be possible, the only way you could see it happening is if the vaccine becomes mandatory for kids between 12 and 17.
Correct. Because my thing is, let's be
So
honest.
to me,
with
that's what he announced
So-
yesterday. He announced yesterday
the
mandatory
thing is-
vaccines coming for kids.
you.
Well, I
Here's
mean,
the
it's
problem.
mandatory for kids to get vaccinated to go to school. So,
Let's think about this, and let's think of the logistics of it. These kids have parents, and we don't have the adult population to that target. What makes you think that the unvaccinated parents are going to vaccinate the kids?
Bro, that's first. Yes. That's the first thing. The second
That's
thing
the
is
baseline.
yeah, that's baseline. The second thing is, again, like I said, there are a lot of vaccinated parents
Which
Who-
still,
who are not as eager to vaccinate the kids.
no.
So I don't know how we're going to get to 80% of the kids.
I don't know either way. I don't know. But we'll have to continue this discussion after speaking to our friends from Social Security.
Security. Social security.
Listen, I walk about energy here because the serious. We shall be right back after a quick break.
Yes.
Getting sure to be sure of your benefits. Sickness and maternity, I'll tell you about the rest of it. Survivors grant your spouse and kids get the best of it. Let me mention pension when you're 62. When you're done work hard and retire, this is what to do. Listen, this social security is working for all your benefits. Funeral grant to help every one of your relatives. Come register for this. Social security. Social security. So every time you get your pay. Social security.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwenny, Gwenisha, Gwyneth Paltrow, Idita, CPL Johnson. And it's time to jump into conversation with one of our favorite people in this federation.
Is me,
From Social Security. Wait, me done.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, you see,
I ain't
this
done.
is real excitement. I'm
Ain't
blushing.
done.
You ain't done?
No.
Okay. I stepped back.
From Social Security, Cam. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning. I really, really, really miss you.
I know, me too. Same.
I see the others. I see Gwenny and whoever else, but
Camilla, don't follow them. Camilla, don't follow them, please. Let's cut this right now.
Well,
She doesn't. She has days where she either chooses Gwenny or Idita. Your choice.
I choose. Okay, you know what? I'll
Yeah.
continue.
it's good to be here. You are with Camila Lawrence, Social Security, and with me in studio is Miss Sandra Da Silva, Customer Service Supervisor. And we are here to talk about, we can't get away at all from the COVID topic. So you're following your discussion just now about COVID, vaccination and so on. We have some information related to claiming for persons who does in fact have COVID or in quarantine. So there's still some uncertainty by the patrons. The IPs, the insured populace, so we want to clear up that. So, Sandra, let's start there. How do you claim for COVID-19 or for being in quarantine?
Okay, good morning. Okay, to claim, it all has to start after you have been released by the Ministry of Health. Now, first, you must get that letter from Ministry of Health, which is CMO signs stating that you were in quarantine isolation for the period. That letter is going to state the period. Then you have to get a sick claim form from our office and you take it to your employer. Now you'll fill the front part of the claim, section A, and the employer is going to fill section C in pertaining to the last day you work and when you are expected back out to work. However, what I have seen is that the COVID period is quite different to what the employer states. And of course, we are only going to pay for the quarantine period. That is stated on the same letter from the Ministry of Health.
So explain, I think I clarified there when you said the employer sometimes writes something different to what is on the claim form.
Okay, so we will receive a letter from Ministry of Health signed by the CMO. And we may have that you were in quarantine from the 1st of September to the 20th of September.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, the employer states that your last work, say the 31st of August, and you're expected back out on the 27th of September. We are only going to pay you from that 1st of September to the 20th of September that is stated in that letter.
Okay, because we are paying based on what the certification by the doctor, which in this case would be the CMO.
Yes.
So, insured persons, you have to be very careful before you submit your forms to ensure that what your employer states is your return time coincides with the end of the period that the CMO states is your leave period.
Well, yes. But apart from that, in questioning persons, they have said that what the employer states is correct as to the date they are going back out to work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that gap.
Yes.
And they quite understand that we are only going to pay for the period stated in the letter.
Okay. So, simply put, repeat what you have to do when you're in quarantine or isolation or you have COVID-19.
Okay. And this letter just states the obvious: quarantine, isolation. After you have been released, you have to ask for a letter from the Ministry of Health. That letter is going to state your quarantine, isolation period. There's a beginning date, there's an ending date. With that letter, you will get a sick leave form. You can collect it from the office, because most likely that is where you'll have to come to get such the sick leave. And you take it to your employer, who will fill Section C. And Section C is going to state when you're expected back out by the employer. However, Social Security is only paying for the period stated in that letter from the Ministry of Health. Now, again, we have to remember that persons will be claiming for the first time after we introduce EFT, which is electronic fund transfer document. So persons are going to state that they want their benefit to go to their bank account. So when you fill out that form and you state that the sick leave and you state you want your money to go to any bank, you also have to fill an EFT by our office, which is the electronic fund transfer document.
And that means any benefit paid going forward will go to that account once you state once you put your banking information on the claim form.
Yes, and if for whatever reason you change your bank, because we do business with our different banks, we have different bank accounts, you will have to fill a second EFT if you change from the one that you gave us. So if this claim, your first claim, states National Bank, and you're making a second claim, whether it's a COVID claim or regular illness, and you state a different bank, you have to fill a second one.
Yes, and we're encouraging insured persons to use these options to have your benefits paid to you. And everyone now has more banking. Well, most persons have more banking, and it's so cool to see BAM, Social Security benefits listed there. So put your account information on the form, and we'd be sure to place your funds there. In addition to, I think we've settled that, the COVID claiming process. And of course, if there are calls, you can call. The numbers are 4660. I forget just now.
Just so easy.
0989.
Yes.
Bam. Cam is back. 4660989. So yes, give us a call if you have any questions. And of course, any uncertainty, our customer service agents are willing. We have recently introduced WhatsApp video calling. So if you need to get in touch with Social Security, if you can't come to it, girl, you think we easy?
What does he buy?
Others gonna do it, you know. But we start. Yeah. Yes, we have introduced WhatsApp video calling, and this is very good, especially at this time where people can't come to us. And usually we would ask to verify who you are and so on, but if we call you and we can see and verify that you are in fact who we are speaking to, and it helps if we have a picture of you in our internet, in our IT systems, so that we can correspond. The number to call is
465-2535. 465
no
2536.
no we're talking about the WhatsApp call number.
Our WhatsApp number is 662-8479.
Very good. 662-8479. This is very helpful for our pensioners, especially when we need it to verify that they are alive in order to continue making their pension payments.
Right.
So those who can't come into us, and we're even getting lots of calls from overseas pensioners, because that eliminates them having to see a notary. You know, they can't move about as based on the restrictions and so on. So once we're able to identify who you are,
That's a big plus.
is a big plus, and we're excited about that. We get lots of WhatsApp inquiries every day, and we are welcoming persons to use that option to get in contact with us. So if you want to call us, if you want to WhatsApp because you don't have credit but you have data, you can do that. 662-8479. Right? School is reopened, and we have persons who get what we call survivors children's benefit. Talk about that, Sandra, because we have some parents who saying, but me ain't seen no money for my child since school closed. Explain the process,
That is
please.
true. And for survivors' benefit for children as of 16 years old, we will stop that benefit at the end of the school year. So the end of the school year would have been July, the first week in July 2021. And so we pay to that date. Now this is September, school has reopened. So we expect to get school certificates forms from the school stating that the child has returned to school, which means we will now pay from that date in July, the first week in July, going forwards until July 2022. Or, now, if you're 16, that is going to pay until July 2022. If you are 17, that will continue to your 18th birthday. Now, the school have school certificates, but I always feel to quicken the process, just come in, get a school certificate from us, and you take it to your school, the headmistress of your school, and that will move quicker than waiting for the school to send us, because the school also have these school certificates.
Yes, so to make it clearer, you have a child that receives survivor's benefits from age 0 to 16. We don't stop the payments when school closes. But if you're 16, the payment is ceased until you return to school. So if you return to school and you're in school from 16 up to 18, your benefits will continue to be paid once we have that proof that you're still in school. So if you have any questions again, you can call us at 465-2535, or you can call the customer service cell number at 662-8479. We'd be happy to provide any clarity that you need.
Okay, I want to go back to our WhatsApp call where we verify that persons are alive. Now, that WhatsApp call is very effective if you have an updated Social Security card, so we have a picture in our system. Now, it is good for pensioners, except survivors' pensioners. A survivor means you're receiving spouse. A survivor means you're receiving a pension on behalf of your spouse. Now, those persons have two forms to fill. One, they're alive, and the other is to verify that you have not cohabited or remarried since receiving such pension. Social Security staff will not be able to verify that part of the form. So you will still have to seek someone in your community, a senior person, doctor, pastor, even a lawyer, as the case may be, senior civil servant, somebody who knows you closely, that they are aware that you're not cohabiting or have not remarried.
Yes, that's important to note, because via a phone call, we can't tell your relationship status, of course. So for those who have to do the survivor's pensioner verification cohabitation certificate, of course, you'd still be required to do what's normal, as in appear before a notary, a pastor, someone to verify that you have not, in fact, remarried or cohabited. That can, in fact, have an impact on whether you continue to receive your benefit or not. But all other calls to verify that you are alive, we can see you, we need to talk to you, that can be done via the WhatsApp call. Any questions, any customer service related questions can be done there. So I don't want you to just think it's for life certificates. It's for customer service. If you can't reach us, you don't have data, you don't have credit, but you have data, use that option. 662-8479.
Okay, and I would like to say something else about our pensioners. Now, our pensioners are doing business at various banks, and so they're making change from what we have to a new bank. Now, it is best that when you're making that change, you get that information to us by the 10th of the new month. So we don't want that you were dealing with National Bank, you're now making a change to Bank of Nevis, and you make the change at Bank of Nevis, and then you're coming to us. That money already locked in to be uploaded to National Bank. So any changes you're making, make sure you reach us by the 10th of a new month to make sure that your benefit goes to the bank that you want it to go for that particular month.
And while we're on pensioners, we are right now sending out what we call life certificates. So pensioners will be receiving a letter that states, if you don't let us know whether you are alive by the 13th of October, your benefit will be ceased until you've completed that. Persons are getting anxious over us saying that, but this is a normal thing that we send out every year. So if you don't want to see a disruption in your benefit, just come and let us complete the form, or you now have the option where you can call us, and so use those options. We don't want an interruption in your pension, so do that. Simple. We're trying to make business continuity very convenient by introducing these options. So anything you'd like to add, Sandra?
And for pensioners overseas, and even persons here in our federation, anything that they have to, instead of, we know this is COVID, this is pandemic. We don't want you to be on the street unnecessarily. We have several email addresses that you can use when submitting any document. Life certificates is at lifecertificates@socialsecurity.kn. You have customer service at socialsecurity.kn.
Yes, and there's also pubinfo@socialsecurity.kn. This is for general emails and inquiries, wanting to do business and so forth. But for customer-related ones, you have life certificates at socialsecurity.kn and customer service at socialsecurity.kn. While we are talking about mobility as well, we also have the option that you can pay your self-employed via mobile banking. You can pay your social security contributions for your employees via online banking as well. So there are a number of options that persons can use to continue to do business with us. We recognize also the difficulty right now that some employers and self-employed persons are going through. You are accustomed to be on top of your game. You're accustomed to make all your payments, and right now you're behind. Don't let that hinder you from coming to us and having a conversation with us, because it means that you're putting yourself at risk of not being eligible for benefits or losing out on any means that we can to break up your payments so they could be smaller and more manageable. So come and have a conversation. Don't just drop your hand and say, I can't do this no more, and I eliminating my self-employed, especially the self-employed persons. We know it has been stagnant, almost dead, but you're not dead. And so just put one foot ahead of the other and come in, have a conversation with us. You only have to come in, call us so we can have that conversation about how we can move forward.
Or WhatsApp.
WhatsApp us, and so we can have that conversation. It's very important. I've seen many horror stories as well as many testimonials where people can say, had I not been covered, I'd be devastated.
Yep.
Social Security is one of the fundamental pillars of our economy. And while I'm stating this, I just want to give the listeners some tidbits or some real sensitization about what Social Security has done through this COVID experience that we're having. 25 million expended through the first stimulus package. Over 8,000 families, 8,000 insured persons were provided at least $1,000 for the first 3 months. Then Social Security came back and said, things hard again. Let's do something to ensure that insured persons have food. And so we ventured with and partnered with ValueMart and Rams Supermarket to provide vouchers up to 1,375 families. And that value was over $250,000. Then recently, what else we've done? Then the operational cost of paying COVID-19 cases and so on. The law provides that if someone is placed in observation or, as we put it locally, quarantine, that Social Security is to treat this as sickness benefit. And so far, from January to September, over $270,000 have been paid. And you know, what the reality is. We have many persons still in quarantine waiting to be released to bring those papers to Social Security. And that, in a sense, should give us some real appreciation of our Social Security fund. Without Social Security, there's no future, because I ain't talking so to hear when I read 62, no money there.
You understand?
People have the assurance and they rely on the promise that we've made to make sure that they get their benefits in times of need. But we can't pay benefits without contributions. So we all have a responsibility to contribute to the fund in order for us to benefit from the fund. And we want you to keep us accountable. If you have those hard questions, ask us. If you have suggestions for us to be improved, tell us so that we can make the changes in order for our Social Security fund to remain viable. Sandra, do you want to add anything?
As usual, we keep looking up for your benefits. And so therefore, we want you to continue coming to check to make sure that your employer is paying your contributions. And at the same time, persons are very anxious, want to have an idea what the pension look like to date.
Yes.
You can come in and we can give you that. We can just give you it, or we can give you officially what your pension looks like today. So you know exactly what you need to do if you have not reached a pensionable rate as yet. So keep checking on your Social Security contributions.
I think
we
can't
are
say that
here
enough.
for you.
Yes.
But we need you to help you.
Correct. We can't say that enough. Check on your contribution status. It amazes me how we just check the status on people's phone all the time.
Imagine that,
Like, and you never want, throughout your entire work career, check to make sure your employer is paying. That's critical. You don't want to wait for 20 years. You don't even want to wait until you have a sick leave claim to hear we staying long enough. Them people don't social ain't like pay. The this, the that. And when you come in, we ain't got no record of you at all.
Oh my.
Yep.
Your employer has not been paying. But if you check, we can follow up. Remember, it's only a little bit of us down there to the workforce when you do a ratio. You understand? So you have to help us police the Social Security Fund. We won't be able to see everything, but if you know, and we're also saying you can do it without causing a scene. You just say, check so and then you walk out. We know what to do next.
Yep.
You know, so help us so that we can think. Because we hear something, oh, I'm scared if I come, my boss is going to fire me or whatever. There's recourse. We can do something about that. And it's illegal for your employer to take out contributions and not pay to the Social Security Fund.
At the end of the day, you're suffering, you know.
Correct. And I've seen cases where people reach 499 weeks and the officers down there searching up the vault
For one more.
for one more week. Like, you see them scrabbling, like, what are you looking for? Just one more week for this person to get a pension.
Wow.
It's me. I'm saying I get goosebumps. Sorry, it's true. It'll happen. We also have cases where people don't qualify because, you know, especially for maternity, they missed, they didn't work, or the employer didn't pay. It's a reality. Check on your contribution status and make sure you have your pay slips. Pay slips are important. A lot of employers don't like to give pay slips for whatever reason. Well, we could think of the reasons. But ensure that you have a pay slip. So if you have to come to Social Security to inquire, you can say, but I think my benefit ain't look right based on what my wage is, because there's also the possibility of under-reporting. Let's say you work for $15 an hour, your employer is reporting that you work for 10.
Yep.
Let's say he has 15 employees, he's reporting that he has 6. It's important that you check on your Social Security status. No matter how the persons appear to be clean, up to the cut, everything right, it's still important to check on your contribution status. Any final words, Sandra?
And it's even more important now to check on your contribution status, because there are many persons who have never been ill. But now, because of the COVID, you're exposed, you're locked down, and suddenly you have to make a claim. And so please come in and check. Check before you get caught up. Even after you get caught up, you can call us again, our WhatsApp video, and let us know what we can help you look at what your contribution status looks like, so that when you make that claim, we can readily serve you and you receive your benefit timely.
Yes, timely is very important, because you could only imagine what persons feel like knowing, because most of us right now, we work in hand to mouth, and you're home on quarantine, you can't get to food, you can't get access to whatever, and then you hear by being on a social community because the employer was paying. It's difficult. It's difficult. But through it all, we encourage you to keep looking up, because we keep looking up for your benefits at Social Security. All right. I think we've done our bit today. Thank you for tuning in. You've been listening to Because You Deserve a Future with Social Security. We touched on claims, COVID claims, what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, after you get your release, after you get your letter, after you get your letter, you bring it to Social Security, you collect your sickness form, you take the form to your employer, then you head back to Social Security. We'll have your claim processed within 5 to 10 working days. Anything outside of that is because we're having a difficulty, and give us a call about that. Until next time, everyone, be safe.
Getting sure to be sure of your benefits. Sickness and maternity, I'll tell you about the rest of it. Survivors grant your spouse and kids get the best of it. Let me mention pension when you're 62. When you're done work hard and retire, this is what to do. Listen, this Social Security is working for all your benefits. If you know well, want to help every one of your relatives, come register for this Social Security. Social Security. So every time you get your pay, Social Security.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's happening again! By popular demand, we're doing it again! Yep, we're doing it again! Horseman's Furniture and Appliances is once again giving away double cashback for free groceries for the months of September to December. Every customer at the Horseman's Furniture and Appliances showroom in St. Kitts and in Nevis gets double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries. But it doesn't stop there! Every higher purchase customer will also get a chance to win! Yep, get double cashback for free groceries and a chance to win absolutely free groceries for a year with every $100 spent on higher purchase. By popular demand, we're doing it again. Double cashback for free groceries, plus a chance to win free groceries for a year. Come to Horseman's Furniture and Appliances today and expect low prices, expect great quality, expect free delivery, expect double cashback for free groceries, expect a chance to win free groceries for a year, expect the extraordinary terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen Johnson. And I wish I had a fresh, crisp taste of that beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day.
Ah, boy, indeed.
Yeah.
But maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure.
For sure.
Carib is very much a part of who we are, wherever we're from
In the Caribbean.
Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
I finished?
Sound effects.
I
Yeah.
finished? Listen, we sound better when we read these ads than when they play. So we're gonna get it started. Businesses send us your ads to read. Don't let us put them on the radio. It sounds better when Kevon reads and Azem does the sound effects. Yeah, man, I would.
Agreed. We should do it. Let's. Carib run me my sponsorship.
I used to do like voiceover and ads when I first came back from college, but the companies don't pay, so I had to stop.
Well, so I get something. But before social security jumped on, we were talking about some stats and facts from yesterday's press conference because some of us clearly misheard. So Azem has found the article to read. He will just read the excerpt where it states about the vaccination percentages for the listeners and viewers.
All right, so this is from SKNIS. They report on the press conference, and this is reading from the area of the article that speaks directly to the comments on vaccination. It says the Honorable Prime Minister said while we here in St. Kitts and Nevis learn to live with the virus, our objectives are in Ta'ala to have 80% of our population inoculated with at least the first dose by the end of November and to achieve 70% of the target adult population being fully vaccinated. It goes on. With the addition of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, the government is also aiming to have over 80% of students between the ages of 12 to 17 vaccinated by December 31st, 2021. And of course, he went on to also say that with such high vaccination coverage, we'll be able to prevent future disruptions in our schools and country. Satellite, that's what he said.
Yeah, he was right.
Okay,
You were
thank you.
on the ball, on the money. Listened carefully.
I am not a journalist, but I was right.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. A lot of people think we're journalists. We are.
We are not journalists.
Yeah.
We are the group of people who are our teachers couldn't get to hush in school, and here we are.
Yeah.
That's true. It's
No,
true.
literally, that's what they used to put
Yeah, it's true.
my report card.
They used to say that all the time. They used to tell mommy, "Oh, Kevon always talking."
Kevon
talk too
always
much."
talking.
Guess what? Look where I am now. Thanks.
Talking.
to no help from you.
Getting paid to talk.
Yeah.
And I know you're vexed because guess what? I'm still talking.
But yes, I don't say this being realistic, one, because December 31st, 2021 is next week. So I don't know how on God's green earth this is about to happen, because firstly, we already spoke to the fact that some of the population not even vaccinated. So for sure they're vaccinating the children. But thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had the same thought that you had, and then playing it through in my mind, I do not believe the Prime Minister to be a foolish fella.
Nope.
Everything he has, he seems to be very strategic.
Yep.
Right? And so, with him making that announcement yesterday, I equate that. I could be wrong.
Could be.
I equate that to announcement of mandatory vaccines for kids coming. That's what I hear.
I mean,
know what you hear, but that's what I hear.
There's already mandatory vaccines for kids, so I don't.
No, well, COVID vaccine.
No, I know. So them adding this one wouldn't be shocking to me at all. Not in the slightest.
That is why I keep saying, like, these things here is where we have to really be careful, because you see what you just said. What you basically said is there's precedent, and we start setting certain precedents, it don't ever end here. Like, this is the thing with governments, right? And this ain't a St. Kitts thing. This is governments from time we had something named government. Once you give a government power, it never gives it back.
Why would it?
It never gives it back. Like, so you always have to be careful about what is it that governments are allowed to do, right? And that is why, like, you have the term, maybe say that here all the time, don't ever waste a good crisis. Because in crisis, persons are more willing to allow things, and to give powers to government that previously they probably would not have considered. But it don't ever stop there. It don't ever stop at the crisis. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. So this is where we are. I am interested to see. Let me go look at the vaccination chart, the last one that we had. To see where
That
we
was yesterday.
No,
got that one
not
late yesterday.
not the COVID chart, the
vaccination.
The vaccination.
I didn't see one of those in a
I saw
long time.
that when it was yesterday.
You can't be serious, what, baby? Okay, I know what to. Okay. So yes, so currently we stand, which has been there for a while. We stand at 75.6% fully vaccinated. No, sorry, first dose, and 66.7% second dose for adults. We are at 7.2% first dose for kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only one dose for the kids anyway.
Okay.
No, but Pfizer is 2. Sorry,
it's
my
2
bad.
because
It's 2. It's 2. But what I'm saying is, there's somebody messaged this to me a while ago, and this is something that I've been hearing discussed prior anyway. So, but a lot of the word is that a lot of the kids that have been vaccinated so far tend to be from either
expats, like
expat kids or Indians.
Basically, like the foreigners.
The foreign nationals.
The foreign nationals, yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Another thing,
Our
right?
residents, sorry.
Another thing. Do they count people, or should they count people who have recovered from the virus as people who should be included in the immunity? Because
immunity different from vaccination.
Immunity different from vaccination, because the thing is too, the immunity does not last long. Remember, in the initial stages of COVID, when they were testing persons, they said that they found that immunity wore off within like 3 months. Within 3 months, there were no more antibodies in the body. And of course, that's give and take, because some people would have different responses, but the average was like a 3-month immunity period after you've had COVID.
Okay.
And we've seen it too, where multiple people do catch COVID again. And on top of that, we now have various strains, so your immunity could look different, because you might first catch like a Lambda, and then a Delta show up and it's like, hello, my turn.
And then they got Mu, and
So that's been a question of mine now, like vaccination versus natural immunity, and what the differences are, and how that plays into the COVID conversation. But yeah, that's something that I probably have to like ask the doctor about and figure out too. Yeah. Well, here we go. Yeah.
Well,
upward and onward.
Up next. So let's talk about some local. Oh, we ain't singing.
Oh yeah, I ain't saying. Oh yeah, drop him back, man. I'm to the hee. You're out here belting up Carib commercial.
You ain't sing the jingle by. Kevon, this guy. What?
Yo, listen, for people on radio who cannot see the antics, y'all really need to find a computer, man, because...
Or cell phone.
Or cell phone, because the things that y'all be missing on the live, from Kevon especially, priceless. Go ahead. Thank you. As we proceed.
None at all. As we proceed, let's talk about some local news before we jump into regional and then the international. So this is a report from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. So Stanley Knight has been convicted for indecent assault. This is of September 28th, 2021. On September 27th, 57-year-old Stanley Knight of Dorset Village was convicted for the offense of indecent assault. Knight was found guilty by a majority verdict of 10-2 for the offense, which was committed in October 31st, 2018. The judge ordered the preparation of a social inquiry report by October 25th, 2021. Knight is currently remanded at Her Majesty's Prison pending his sentence.
This is unfortunate. I guess justice was served for the young lady, and hopefully more of these things happen, because I know for sure that it is very difficult for people to come forward when these type of things happen to them. There are people out here literally walking around who are serial rapists and just outside freedom, chilling. It's not like other countries where they are bad from other activities when found guilty. They just, continue their life. They spend their time in jail and then they just continue life after, doing whatever they please. So
we also have a culture of people that don't really think that rape or like indecent assault, sexual misconduct occurs, and it's more like sort of like a sweep it under the rug thing.
Especially people in high positions, people with power, people with money. It always seems like these things are swept under the rug or hushed down or paid off. Now, let's get away from that culture. Let's start naming and shaming people who do these type of things, because the long-lasting effects, can't have that. Cannot have that at all. But yes, Kevon, what else is on the agenda?
Next up, we have, I'm trying to pick which one. Do we do this third wave testing thing? Okay, we kind of already talked about third wave.
We talk about COVID enough.
Yeah, so skip. Okay, so let's talk about, this is more COVID things. So thanks, Jade. So the hospitals have begun to run out of oxygen across the Eastern Caribbean as the Delta wave sweeps the region, says PAHO. Hospital oxygen supplies are being pushed to the brink across the Eastern Caribbean, which is what the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has warned, as the wave of the highly infectious Delta COVID-19 variant causes more deaths and infection rates to soar to record levels, largely among the unvaccinated. Expressing concern over the burden on the regional healthcare systems in its latest report, PAHO cited that St. Lucia's health system was struggling with oxygen supplies after hospitalizations rose by 214% in the last 7 days. It's also noted that insufficient oxygen supplies have been affecting health systems in Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. They also added that hospitalization rate increased significantly in the range of 37% in Barbados to 1,700% in Grenada in the same period. However, Dominica recorded a 13% decline in cases. So we down bad.
Bye.
Long story short, we down bad. So
nah, it's tickling me.
Oh, okay. Let's make it sure. Because we're talking about COVID and all of a sudden you're sneezing.
But yeah, the thing for me with these things is, yeah, we have to report on it. What I don't understand is how people still feeling like, how people don't expect this.
Because they don't think COVID is real.
No, people think COVID real is just like, I even here, guys, like, there's no way I would wish for St. Kitts to get to a place where our health system is taxed to the point where, like, oxygen is like this rare commodity, right?
Right? Imagine.
But And so the hope is that we're learning from what's happening in the other countries and preparing. But no, if you're preparing, that's because, well, you know, it's a possibility it could happen here.
Well, I remember Dr. Wilkinson did say yesterday that there was a point where the ward was to capacity. And also I saw in Antigua, I think that they had to start bringing in makeshift containers to contain people who die from COVID. Like
Antigua to Grenada.
Yeah, Antigua as well. Like, bro, we don't want to get to that point. We do not want to get to that point.
But how would we not?
Why are you asking the wrong person, yeah? Because they don't know.
What's the
I don't know.
Okay. Right.
I honestly, Azem, do not know.
Yeah.
Do not know.
My problem is a lot of people that talk like they know.
Yeah, you know what people got a degree in the last year? From WhatsApp?
Biology and so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All I have to do is Google twice and dig a whole degree.
Not even Google. They don't Google, just forward. We don't Google, we forward.
And one thing about me, when I don't know, I just gonna say me, you know, because I ain't about to just wing it. You can't wing it on people's health. Like, you can't just wing it when it comes to this kind of information. You have to know or don't know. And if you don't know, find out from people who know.
People think they know. That's one of the issues.
Which is the issue. Like, y'all can't just decide that, you know what, let me Google twice and...
What Google? But I ain't Googling that.
You think they're just making it up? Because the site, Google as the source.
No, this is what's happening. Like, and I tell you about this here. Like, what happens is people start from the place of the desired outcome or the desired result, and they're working backwards. So I don't want XYZ, or I would like, I would prefer, this is what I would like to see, boom, 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 and then they work backwards with the argument that gets them there.
But that's not how it should work.
That was going on.
No, but
that was going on.
That's not logical, you know. There was an article I saw yesterday that basically said most conspiracy theorists are idiots when it comes to these type of things, because the conspiracies, y'all ain't like, for example, right, there was one that said that the governments are hiding COVID vaccination deaths. They're hiding people who are fully vaccinated that have died. And I'm like, okay, so the government could hide them, right? But you don't think they have people like moms, dads, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives who will literally just hop on Facebook and
people
just
don't
like y'all and just...
in a small society especially, like, people don't just disappear. Like, your co-worker...
I mean, they do.
No, what I'm saying is your co-worker ain't and just like leave home with like COVID. Like, gonna leave work with COVID and then not come back, and nobody gonna be like, hey, what happened to...
like, you know.
Oh,
and then the conversation done. That's not how it works.
Like,
bro.
So like let's use an example. So let's say, you know, COVID takes a news report, not even a news reporter, a cashier out from a supermarket. Nobody gonna ask the questions as to where they go?
No. The family gonna just be like, well,
the co-workers gonna just be like, oh, she ain't come today. Okay.
She ain't come for the year.
Listen, the reply to that was so funny, right? They said the government paying the families to be quiet, and they're also perching ninjas on their roofs to keep them in their houses so they don't say anything, go anywhere. And that is why curfew is in the night, so the ninjas could work.
Sound about right.
Yeah.
Sound about right.
I mean, that was the most logical thing I read.
Like, this is my thing. I don't like, and I'm not. This is my thing. I believe that skepticism is important.
Very.
We need skeptics. People who ask questions and all of that is very important. But the issue I have is when people deny facts.
Right.
And I think what's happening here is that we're in a situation where you can't even agree on facts.
Okay.
Like, we could have a disagreement, right? We could have a disagreement and we could have different views and stuff like that. But at some point, like, it becomes impossible for us to have a discussion if we can't agree on what the facts are.
You know what's the most frightening thing to me?
So it's a lot of it is just a waste of time.
You know what's the most frightening thing to me, and it's frightening and it's concerning. How all of a sudden we
Hold
do
on.
that?
You see that? You see them kind of statements here?
That's what I mean.
That's blow my mind.
Me too,
Them
man.
kind of statements are blow my mind.
Me
Like,
to buy. Me no.
no. Go home.
Hello,
What
mate.
is happening?
We got half an hour before you can leave.
Ah,
When did we start?
it's not true.
When did we start
Oh my
not
God.
believing science and facts that are presented by doctors? The same doctors that have to save your lives, eh? The same doctors that y'all trust to go to if y'all are sick with anything else. But when it comes to COVID,
my
like,
God.
when did that start happening? Like, how did y'all become better at these things than the actual people who went to school, research them, who do these on a daily basis? I just wanna, like, when did we decide as a community, as a collective, that the things that the doctors are telling us are lies? Because
Look, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand mistrust of the healthcare system, because a lot of the times you're not mistrusting the doctor, right?
no.
You're
wait,
no. What I'm saying is, a lot of times, right? Okay, one, we have seen countless examples of times where persons who we thought had our best interest at heart didn't, right? Like, some of these things are documented, right? Tuskegee experiment, blah 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 blah, right?
The gonorrhea,
Right.
all of these.
Infecting people with syphilis to see what's going on with them and so, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, we get it.
So we understand the mistrust of, but what I think is important in this case is to recognize that when you start adding financial interest into an equation, things could get real shady real quick. And so we're at a point where, because of the relationship between big pharmaceutical companies and governments, and when I say governments, I'm talking especially in the US, where you have unlimited campaign funding and stuff like that, people are gonna raise questions. So what I think need to happen, I think what is happening here is that we need to recognize that there needs to be a shift. There needs to be a shift in the way government operates, and so we don't start feeling like what happens in, and we do it here right here in St. Kitts, when we have when we have Parliament, right? You know what has happened? It feels like theatre.
You mean tomorrow? Tomorrow.
But what I'm saying is, it feels like theatre, right? It feels like an act.
Yes.
What goes on in there? It feels like grandstanding. It feels like we're putting on the show for our supporters and for
It has to be
whatever.
entertaining.
Right. Well, and that is the problem.
It has to be entertaining, or people ain't gonna watch, people ain't gonna listen. If there's no entertainment,
No.
Parliament becomes boring to the majority,
Yeah,
and then the majority is not listening. I figure it out, you know. I figure it out.
Well, again,
Me saying is right. I'm
no,
not saying
yeah.
it's
What
not
I'm
right.
saying is, I feel like that in itself shows us that we perhaps have the agendas for these activities really don't line up with what they claim to be. If that is the mindset, you see what I'm saying? So it really speaks to, one, how do we get to a point where we can trust the things that the government say? And that's not to say that they'll always be right or always be wrong, but trust that they have our best interests at heart and at the interest of someone else, including themselves. How do we create a system where that is the case? I know there's a lot of things happening now that go directly against that.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Right? So
Definitely.
so it's like, I mean, we talk about, for instance, Parliament and whatever, especially, I mean, let's talk about in the Caribbean. A lot of times when you're looking at it, like you said, I think a lot of people tune in, and the fact that they're looking at it as entertainment proves that they generally don't look at it as a source for credible information.
You don't think so?
But we just say that it's entertaining
Right,
and grandstanding and
Right.
whatever. I don't believe that when I look at these things, I should feel like I'm looking at a play. Like, it feels theatrical.
But I think it's Parliament culture. I was about to say Caribbean, but it's not even in the Caribbean alone.
No. It's not. because, for instance, I believe the same thing about, let's say, the House of Representatives, Congress, and so in the States. It's the same thing. The
Yeah.
House of Commons in England. Like,
Azem, you forget.
it's the same thing.
You forget the whole house in America decided they're going to wear kente cloths and kneel.
It's all theatrical.
What the heck do y'all be doing, man?
And that's what I'm saying. So until we get to a place where the system rewards honesty and put the leaders in a position where they're able to function like on behalf and in the best interest of the population of the people that voted them in, then you're gonna obviously have mistrust, because we understand that's not what's going on. So I understand why people mistrust people that's supposed to be telling us like have our best interests at heart, because they're proving that they don't. My thing is though, when we start having these conversations, and like I said, one, we can't agree on facts. When we start having these conversations and we're starting from the end. So you have an outcome, and so instead of us discussing what is happening, what the situation is, possibilities, I know that I want such and such and such and such and such and such. And so, no. I believe what happens is we need to, when we start from the end, it needs to be a goal or aim. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're having discussions and academic discussions, and we start like, it's like, it ain't even like maths where you could say, well, the answer is 24 and solve for X.
Mm.
It ain't like that. That ain't how it happen. That ain't how discussions happen. When we're trying to decide how do we get to the place that we want to get to.
Bye.
It's rough. And that is why, like, I believe that we're at a place now where things gonna get way more tribal and disjointed. People gonna go into the little think boxes and find like-minded voices that could just reinforce their biases. And it's like, and you're gonna just like, everybody gonna just get into these little echo chambers. Everybody gonna get into these little echo chambers, and people gonna become more and more isolated. Whereas we live in a world where theoretically we're supposed to be able to come together more, and people supposed to be able to find out the truth, and the exact opposite happening.
Been happening.
But it's happening because as humans, we want to be right.
Always.
And instead of wanting to find truth, we want to be right. So this is what's going on. Instead of and people need to stop trying to be right, and people need to try and figure out what the truth is.
That's the important part, to be honest. That part, people need to stop trying to be right and just figure out what the truth is. Because I think most conversations are just about who right and who wrong. That's it.
That's why I can't have those kind of conversations with people like.
Yeah. But guys, it's time for a break because we have our guest joining us next. We're going to jump into some conversation with him. So, stick and stay to Island Tea. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
Campari, grapefruit, easy fi we. Brother, he no hard it. Easy fi we. Campari, he no cup. Easy fi we. Brother, he no hard it. Easy fi we. Add the Campari with the grapefruit soda. That easy, bitter had the pre. Simple mixer, easy 1-3. Campari, grapefruit, that easy fi we. Fi mix a Campari grapefruit. Add 1 part Campari to 3 parts grapefruit soda. Drink at the bar, on the beach, or when the girl reach. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
taste is Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade, and it's time to jump into conversation on Eat Local with Avion Thomas himself. Welcome and good morning.
I don't think you might be. Did you unmute?
I think he's still muted. There we go.
Yeah. All right. I said, thank you. Good morning, boys. Avion.
Oh,
Avion. Okay.
The water. Okay.
Jade led me wrong.
Listen, I've been
That's
calling
Jade
his
fault.
name incorrect for all my life. Then don't be mad at me.
How y'all doing?
Bye.
We're doing good.
We not too bad over on these sides. How are you?
Blessed, highly favored. Yeah.
Okay, positive energy. Love it.
Ah.
So, friend, I mean, for a lot of people, they may not realize that you are literally a son of the soil. You are from St. Kitts. You lived in St. Kitts. You know, you are Kittitian to the bone. You don't live here, but we don't hear accent coming through, which we appreciate. Unless you turned it.
It's like a next language. It's a next language. It's like depending on like who you're talking to. Because I feel like conversation. Now you can't speak to everybody the same way.
Right. That's fair.
I mean,
that's fair.
Okay, so you just made sure you brought your Kittitian accent because you're talking to us.
Not really. It's just like home. So when you're home, you're home. You check.
No, I would it. So for people who may not know you from some strange reason, give the people a little insight into who you are, what you do, and they will jump into some conversation.
Alright. Who am I? What I do? My name is Avion Thomas. I am a photographer, set designer, creative director, and that's who I am and what I do.
Simple so.
I mean, I feel like it's a little more complex than that, but
I believe so too, but you know.
So where did this come from? I mean, did you just wake up one day and decided, you know what, I'm going to take pictures, I'm going to jump into being a creative? Where did this passion come from?
I think I was just always adventurous, and definitely some influence from Willett. A lot of people might not even know Willett, but definitely some influence there, and just loving nature, to be honest. Just the way that like nature looks, the ocean, the views that we used to have. I used to appreciate them things just a little bit more. So I always just used to take pictures of them. And then when I progressed to like America, it was the same, not really the same, but it was close. I would take pictures of sunsets and stuff like that. And then I just always stick with that one thing, is taking photographs. And then from there, it just kind of progressed into what it is now. You know, so there's a little gap in between there, but yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of times everybody don't have the ability or the opportunity sometimes to be able to turn the things they like into either one, not only just a career, but even a hobby, right? Sometimes people don't have this self-awareness to know this is something that I like, something that I'm passionate about. At what point did you know, like, I like this? Is it a certain experience or a certain time in your life where you recognize, like, in terms of imagery and landscapes and nature and this kind of thing, that you have a passion for capturing that type of thing?
I think for me it was the longevity of it. Like, that was the one thing that I just always kept doing, no matter what was happening in life.
You kept going back to it.
Yeah, I just kept going back to just taking pictures and it would be pictures of anything. It would be like pictures of a bike tire, and this was really like on a phone too to start with. So when I get my hands on a camera, then I just kept doing it, and then I look back. I was sitting down doing some reflection, and then I realized that was something that I was just doing, and I was able to like hustle from it and make money from it. So I just kind of keep pushing in that direction.
See, like that's something that I always feel encourages persons. You see, when you could do something that you're passionate about and you start making a little spenny from it.
Yeah. Then
it's almost like you recognize off the bat that, hey, maybe there's something here. So at what point in your life is this happening? Is this happening like during school, like in high school? Like at what point in your life is this going on? Where the transition went from, yeah, just kind of like doing this, and it's like, oh wait, I'm making a little cheddar from this.
Man, so I feel like it was a big transition in terms of the gap, because I was just always a hustler, so I was always selling something. Right. But I think I end up in a certain position, and the way that the opportunity presented itself, which was, I need you to come take some pictures at the club. You could get in for free, and you're gonna get some drinks. I was like, bet. And post those pictures, and then I get instant feedback. And then the college that I was going to, so I was in college at this time. Somebody from the college see the pictures, hit me up, was like, yo, we're going to a fashion show. I need you to take pictures. So then it was like, cool, I accept the job. Mainly even had no camera, because the person that I take the pictures for in the club, it was their camera. So being a hustler, like I said, I just put one and two together. I was like, yo, the next time you need me for the club, you know what I mean? We could run back the same deal if you let me borrow your camera. So borrow his camera, do the fashion show, do what I need to do. And then from the fashion show, then I just kind of keep, like I said, sticking with it. And then that progress all through college to this point. And then it was just like a turning point for me in my life in terms of actually deciding what road I wanted to go down. And it was like, you got the influences of just people, society, different things in terms of like what you want to do, who you should be, what path you should follow. So for me, it was doing a lot of reflection and actually making a decision. And I decided I only wanted to do certain things, or partake in certain things for this period of time. And then from this period of time onward, it's like I draw the line. And then I think I just really made that conscious decision. I draw that line. And when I got to that point, then I just really just started turning it up. And then that was like knowing myself, knowing my weaknesses, one which is speaking, and it's not really a weakness, but one which is speaking and realizing that I would have to speak to a lot of people in order to really get to the level that I want to get to. And I have to be able to effectively communicate with anybody. So I just had to figure out who I am as a person, my strong suits, my weak suits, and then just keep constantly working to eliminate the weak points, putting myself in positions, uncomfortable positions, even this being one of them. So just things.
I know, Kevon is very scary.
Yeah, you figure I'll make that decision. So to me, it was like a transition there from college to Honestly, I would say maybe a year ago. So like I had success when I moved from college and I moved to Dallas, but it still wasn't me really going for it. It still wasn't me like drawing my line. So I would say probably like a year ago. That's when I really said, okay, cool, I'm gonna turn up this thing. And yeah.
Well, I actually been watching also your work. Like I always look at your work, and one of the things that stood out to me, it was a collaboration that you did here with Kenesio. It was, I think, the shoot with the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like how did you guys even pull that one off, man? Like that was something that nobody probably ever thought about, ever expected. But the way that came out was like epic. How did you even pull that off?
Yeah. Man, it's just really energy. Especially with Kenesha, aka Taj, that's why they call her. But yeah, it's really like energy and being in an environment in some which way, shape, or form that aligns with what you want. So with me and Angel, it's just like always creativity. It's always a lot of back end talks, and from business to personal to a lot of different stuff. And we were just always creating and pitching out ideas. And then she hit me up one time and she was like, yo, I got this going on. And I was like, yo, this would be cool too. And then I'm just waiting for the moment to happen, which is for me to come sync it. So finally touched down, and then it was like, yeah, time to get to work.
Yeah, I mean, but for a lot of because you're involved in set design and just creative direction type things, what's your process like? And I guess does the process change depending on the capacity you're operating in? Because you're a photographer. Sometimes it might be you're hired to take certain pictures, but I do believe that, and I think sometimes we underestimate how much of the picture is actually the photographer, right? And so I see that as the way you frame it, the way you shoot it, even the way you edit it, being a vision that you're chasing, right? So it's like where does that inspiration come from? The thing that makes you unique.
That come from life and the experiences in it. It's like from. So I feel like that's short of a statement. Life and the experiences in it.
So,
you know what I mean?
So you believe? So I guess what I'm saying is, what I'm getting at, I figured that would be something like the answer. But do you believe that the fact that you have a unique experience coming from St. Kitts, coming from the Caribbean, do you believe that adds to your appeal in now that you're working mainly in the US?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I believe third world countries influence a lot of the world. You check, like we more innovative just naturally because of the environment and what we gotta deal with, which is less resources. So I feel like we're ahead a lot of times, and bigger countries or bigger places get a spotlight just because, that's how it is. And me being from St. Kitts, I feel like that definitely was and is a driving force, because at the end of the day, in my head, I'm from St. Kitts, and like I'm from St. Kitts, if you understand what I really mean.
Right.
I'm very aware and a feeling a lot of things that's like going on in the streets. You know what I mean? So like when I say St. Kitts, I mean the heart of St. Kitts. Like to me, the ghetto is the heart of St. Kitts. We're like, you know what I mean? People dealing with a lot of things. So that there to me, that's like real emotional. So it's like a lot of passion, a lot of rage, a lot of love, a lot of hate, just a lot of energy in general is right there for me. So being over here, I try to always operate as such. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is, let me enjoy this day, or let me enjoy this week, or let me really let me really do something this week. Let me really put in some work, you know what I mean? And that's like the ambition. And over here, you meet other ambitious people, but I still feel like coming from a third world country, or a smaller country, the ambition, the drive, the dedication, just, you know what I mean? The boldness is just different. And I believe that's what make me different over here, you know what I mean? Because me ain't gonna take no for an answer. And I'm gonna figure which way, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, that passion has clearly led you to be able to shoot with some people that you probably never even thought that you would be able to shoot with. But who has been your favorite? And I'm talking like big celebrities. Who has been your favorite person to shoot thus far?
Favorite by?
Wow, that's so hard. Okay, give me two. Give me two top shoots then. Since your favorite is hard, because they're probably listening and you want, you know, make everybody else feel away. So tell me two of your top shoots that you've done.
I would say the two is when you say shoots in terms of like photography or just like working.
Photography.
Okay. I would say Columbus shot. And
okay,
I would say.
Sorry, your audio dropped out as soon as you call the name. Maybe that's a sign.
Columbus shot and Jonathan Wright. Those was the two shoots that like they were just cool. You check, it was just it wasn't a lot of Hollywood shit. It was just like, again, like I said, energy.
Well, somebody just messaged me and said you nearly put them to tears. So the words you're speaking, real. I guess the words you're speaking, the impactfulness of them, like they're really feeling how the way you're putting your thoughts and your emotions out. Like they're really feeling it. So
yeah, there's a lot of emotions. Like I said, uncomfortable situations. Yeah, we don't say this is one of them, but that's
why is this uncomfortable for you? You meet celebrities, you shoot pregnant people. You know how hard it is to shoot people with emotions who are on 10 all the time. This is hard? This is uncomfortable?
Most definitely. See, I think it's like communication. You know what I mean? If I'm behind the lens or if I'm in that zone, the communication is different because I'm communicating to get like a final product or like a piece of art, because I believe everything I do is art. So it's like you're painting a canvas. The conversation and the environment, the state of mind is completely different from like communicating and expressing yourself and putting yourself.
It's a different medium.
Yeah.
I get that. But like I guess for some people who may not even fully understand what it is that you get involved in, like take us through a typical day for you. Like what a typical day looks like. Besides starting to Island Tea.
Like Island Tea. A typical day is real short, yeah. But the routines that I follow is wake up, give gratitude, try to take a moment and thank God, read a Bible verse, just hold a meditation for a little bit, and then get myself ready personally, and then step out into the world. And that's exactly how I see it, because I feel like the minute that you step out into the world, you're dealing with a lot. Distractions, phone calls, just anything in general, you're dealing with a lot. So for me, that's how I like to start my mornings typically. Get myself ready and then interact with the world. And then interaction with the world could be anything from, yo, Avion, I got this person coming through, I need you, pull up, to yo, I got a luxury portrait experience book, directing, calling everybody, seeing where everybody at. So yo, Avion, I need you to do a set. We going all the way, our way, like yo, Avion, I got this going on. You got a minute? We could talk. I was spending time with my son. You check.
Aww.
Yeah, that's the typical day in between there, and then I end it again in the same way, taking a minute for myself, reading a book, learning something that I'm involved in, and then going sleep and starting over again, doing something different the next day with that little space in between.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is that there's not really a lot of monotony in what you do, and I think as somebody who's obviously creative and has a creative mind, having those different challenges and those new experiences on a daily basis you must really appreciate that, because I know for me, like, monotony does drive me crazy. If I'm doing the same thing every day, and and when I wake up I know exactly how everything gonna go and thing, like it does. It does drive me wild. Like it makes me very uncomfortable.
It's a struggle too. It's really like a struggle, because I hate routines, but then it's like the more I want something, the more I have to follow a routine.
Right.
You check?
Right.
So like, you know what I mean? Finding that middle ground that you feel comfortable with in terms of submission, because a lot of what we want is submission or giving. So finding that middle ground, but yeah, it would drive me crazy. And that's why I didn't choose like a career in my degree, which is information technology. It was just too routine for me. The whole process of school was boring. I didn't like it. And that's that I didn't get the grades that I needed to, but it just didn't have my attention. And yeah.
Yeah, I think for me I could relate in the sense that I like control, but I don't like monotony.
Nope.
So like always being able to find that balance is important just to your sanity. Right? And so and like if you're that type of person, being able to operate in a way where you have that those experiences that differ, where you could, it's something different. I think that go a long way. And I think that,
and it's also not to cut in, but it's also a very difficult place to be in and to survive in. And that's from like a financial standpoint as well, because you really just got to figure out that middle ground with every single thing in your life. You know what I mean? Because you don't have this routine to wake up to, and just things that you do and automatically have or know the results of it. You know what I mean? You still gotta get up every day and be open in terms of finding that balance with knowing how much money you're making, how much jobs you're taking on, and knowing like, okay, I need this time for myself, but also just with the uncertainty of life, because anything could happen at any point, and that would just throw you off, which I believe that's what life is designed to do. But
it really is.
Yeah, discomfort is important. Discomfort is important.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think when you hear you speak and you speak about, going off to study information technology and having, I would say, the courage to explore your passions, even at a point where you're actively pursuing something else. I think that's important to highlight, because I think especially Kititians, a lot of times we get encouraged down certain paths, right? Certain paths where it's perceived to be safe. It's perceived to be but traditional. But to people who might be listening, who having that doing that wrestling now, where they're trying to figure out a direction, and what you would say to those, especially those who have similar passions in terms of artistry and photography and graphics and that kind of thing, what you would say to Kititians who might be struggling with, hey, should I really pursue this?
But go for it. Like I say, it's drawing that line in the sand and deciding what you want to struggle for. Because at the end of the day, I feel like life is a struggle for a certain point, because that's the foundation. To me, I think the foundation is the hardest thing to build. So it's a struggle, and you're gonna struggle for something. So decide really what you want, you know what I mean? Because if you're doing something and it's for anybody else other than you, then it's really like a waste of your time. And to young people, and when I say young, I mean people that's like honest, anybody that got understanding, or anybody that listening, anybody from 5 all the way up to 100, that's still young. You just gotta go for it. You don't want to wake up and you're at a point in your life and you look back and you're like, yo, I just spent this amount of time on what? Like, me ain't even like that. Who I was doing this for? You know what I mean? And that has happened a lot. And if you get around older people older than you would hear them speak about like the regrets, or they wish I do this, or I wish I did this, or follow this, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of wishing, and you ain't want to be one of them persons they're wishing. You check, so just make sure you go for it regardless. If you're happy and you're making your way from it, or you're doing what you gotta do to get to it, just keep going.
But yeah, for sure. Like I think that's sound words, words that cannot be condemned, sound speech that cannot be condemned.
Yes, indeed.
But Avion, sorry, you could let the people know how to keep in contact with you, keep up to date with what you got going on.
Check out your work.
And check out your work.
You could check out my work on Instagram at Avion Thomas Photography, AVION THOMAS PHOTOGIAPHY GIAPHY. And House of Perp, which is a new business that I just started, basically changing or giving a space for different people like myself to come in. So people that are uncomfortable, or people that ain't really got the support to follow like the creativity or just a little bit of help. I opened up House of Perp, which is a studio. It's an art studio in downtown Dallas, in a historic building. So yeah, you can follow there too, at House of Perp, HOUSEPUIP on Instagram. And my personal is Avion C. Thomas.
All right.
Well, there you have it. Eat local with one of the creators out of the Federation, who is doing great things, and we will continue to follow his work. I enjoy it because I love to look at creative things.
What y'all doing, you check, because y'all creating a platform and you're giving a lot of people voices and direction, because what y'all do, people aspiring to do that as well. So kudos to y'all for doing this, being on this platform, just doing what you're doing, basically going for it. Yeah.
Appreciate that big time.
Thank
you. That big time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's hump day.
Hump day.
And it is time for us to get out of here, man, and pursue our daily dreams. No, Azem, you can't pursue hump. Well, you can, but that's not the road I was going down.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, as usual. We'll be back tomorrow with some more tea for you guys. We know y'all love us here. You want to tell the people where they could follow us, see us, all these nice things?
Well, people, for those of you who watch us on your devices, whether it's your phone, your computer, your tablet, or your friend computer because you're watching from behind the back. Yeah, we don't know. We know how to be doing it.
Yeah, and
we know
that's
how to be
fine.
doing it.
We don't mind. We don't
Jump
mind.
over the shoulder, not study that.
When y'all turn the radio or turn the the channel, y'all bosses got it on because y'all want to hear ILNT.
Yeah,
They turn their back.
Hear them.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it, guys. Those of you who log on Facebook, those of you who log on YouTube.
All the boxman them.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, all you guys who log on online on your devices, whether it's Win Media, SKN's website, I appreciate you big time. Gawain, SH, Witty, Morning, DJ Shabang, all the regulars.
All the people who trying to call in when the noise 10 o'clock we need to leave. Big up y'all too.
Yeah, big up y'all, man.
What are y'all questions to tomorrow? Also, remember y'all can send y'all questions that y'all don't want people to hear y'all read aloud on the air to ilntinfo@gmail.com. We will keep it private. I mean, me and Azem can see it and Kevon, but nobody else can see it.
We ain't calling a name.
No, we ain't calling a name.
Calling a name, get no blame.
Yeah, man.
You understand? That's what's going on.
Mm.
But yeah, guys, all you guys who listen on 98.9 on the radio every morning, big up yourself. All the employers, them who putting it on for your employers to hear. Watch it, yeah, the real MVPs. Yeah, yo, big up yourself, yeah.
We love y'all.
Yeah, but guys, as usual, it would be remiss of us to leave without not hearing from the man himself, the Prosecco Papi, the Duke of Frigate Bay, the Slim God, the Chapstick Don, the Freak of Neatness, the man whose beard garners envy from all the beardless ones. As he brushes. The man himself, Sir Kevon Hanley.
That is because you can't be everyone's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We will see you tomorrow.